So good morning and Happy New Year. It's 2024. This is our first Feel Good workout of the year. I have incredible participants on Zoom that are joining me every single week. If you'd like to join on Zoom, I have a newsletter which communicates all the details, and I have a lovely WhatsApp group as well where I send session reminders. So just go to my website and you can put the link for the free newsletter, which I try and send out monthly. I am live on YouTube. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get notified of all the new content that I am putting up. And I would love you to just take a seat first. We're going to run through my Feel Good fitness prescription. It's applicable for all ages, all abilities, and we're going to start with a lovely bit of breathing. So I want you to take a seat and just close your eyes. I'm just going to improve my lighting somewhat. This is the first session back, so we are just getting all set up. I am also going to make sure I am on screen there for all my Zoom participants. We will just start with a bit of breathing. Unfortunately, my mother-in-law is not able to join me today because she's at the temple. We are Jain and she's very religious, so she's gone to pray for us all, which is lovely. But she will be joining me next week, and I will try and show you all the seated and standing exercises today. So whatever ability, whatever age you are, you showed up today, and this is an investment in your physical and mental health. So just do what you can today. We're going to close our eyes. We're going to do my breath snack, like my exercise snacking. We're just going to do a minute or two of deep breathing, because as you can hear in my voice, I'm on that parasympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight, where I'm getting things set up. Things can be a little bit stressful this morning, just getting here. But we're all here together now, wherever you are in the world. And I want you to just look at your breath, tune in. How does it feel? Can we try and slow things down and reset the nervous system, calming the body and mind? Try and inhale and exhale through your nose, ideally. Lovely positive inhales and long exhales, which are going to help kick in the parasympathetic nervous system to rest and digest. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to speak out, but in your head, as you take the breath in and out, I'm going to count that as 1, and we're going to go up to 10. So we're breathing in, long exhale, that's 1. Breathe in, breathe out. In your own time, that's 2. Breathe in, breathe out. Really expand the lungs and the belly, that's 3. Breathing in positivity, exhaling any negativity, that's 4. Breathing in, long exhale, that's 5. Breathing in, breathe out, that's 6. Lovely inhale, filling your lungs, exhale, emptying everything out, that's 7. Breathe in, really tune into your breath, breathe out, that's 8. Lovely long inhale. When you're ready, releasing any tension with the exhale, that's 9. Lovely inhale. And a final exhale, that's 10. Keep your eyes shut. Check in how you're feeling. Just in that 10 long breaths, I am feeling so much calmer, so much more relaxed, so much more ready for this workout. Place your hands over your closed eyes And then bring a smile to your face. Just open your eyes slowly with those hands there, letting in a little bit of light. And then let's take a final big inhale. On the next exhale, release the hands away. Let me see your lovely smiles. Well done, everyone. So let me know how you're feeling on YouTube. Give me a thumbs up. Drop a comment if you can. On Zoom as well. Thumbs up if you're feeling good. How did that feel? Let's start marching on the spot. We're going to start the workout now. You can do all the exercises seated if you're behind your desk, if you're on your sofa, or if you're just less mobile or you have any restrictions for mobility, just do what you can. We're just going to start warming up the body. So maybe staying marching, seated or standing. We're going to start from the top of our bodies and we're just going to start circling out our head. Now you could keep marching, then I'm getting you to do two things at once, just trying to keep our brains fit. So we're coordinating the movement, the stepping and the circling. But if that's too difficult, just focus on the lovely circles. Let's change direction. Just rotating the head. How does your body feel? Is everything a little bit tight? This, if you're doing it in the morning or any time of the day, just have a little sense check of how you're feeling. Where they're going to place our hands on our shoulders and we're going to start rotating big circles with those elbows. Lovely big smiles, everyone. And then changing direction. So here we're getting all the joints lovely and lubricated. We've got synovial fluid around the joints and it's really important that we use them. We hear a lot about joint pain, osteopenia, osteoarthritis. So we want to try and keep all of these joints moving, especially when we're sitting for long periods in our day, which is detrimental to our health in the long run. We are now circling out the arms. So let's go backwards. You could do singles or you could do doubles. Oh, brilliant. I've got comments already. So if you're on YouTube or Zoom, enjoy this feel-good workout. Let's come forward, circling round. Are you stepping? Or maybe you're just standing or seated doing these exercises, whatever works for you. And if you're standing, we're now going to work on our hips. So if you're standing, I want you to try and circle out those hips, rotating. If you're seated, I'm going to show you a version where you can just bring your torso forwards and back. Yep, so here you're kind of holding your core in. We're always keeping our backs lovely and straight, our chest out, our shoulders back. This one is a nice one if you're standing. A little bit of movement. This is guaranteed to put a bit of a smile on your face. And we can change direction, seated or standing. The seated version, you're bringing your body down and forwards. And the standing is a little bit more on your hips there. Relax it down. Now we have two options with the legs. We could keep them seated if you want, and you can start circling out the hips. So we're focusing on our hips here. If you're standing, I want you to maybe hold on to something stable, like your chair or your wall, because we don't want anyone to fall. It's the opposite here. We're trying to do balance work if you're standing. And the whole point is to reduce our risks of falls by hopefully building up that strength, that balance. So we know how common hip fractures are as we age. And here, if you're standing, I want you to focus on this lovely movement through your hips. So my body is really straightforward. I'm going to do a few on each side. The seated version is great for your hips as well because you're still moving. And in fact, you have to pick up your heavy leg. So you're using the muscles in your legs as well. And we're circling round. So just change sides when you're ready. If you're able to balance unaided, make sure you still have that support on your side because I really don't want anyone to fall over. So a wall is great, but you could try to progress by balancing. And there's a fabulous study I often quote with Andrew, who is on Zoom, which he sent me last year and I've been writing about as well. It's about being able to balance on one leg for just 10 seconds is a great sign of longevity, of being able to hopefully increase your chances of living longer. So balance is really key. We're now going to sit down and we're going to just circle out our ankles. So we've done quite a bit of mobility today, but I want to make sure you're warmed up. This is the first session back after the Christmas break. So I'm not sure if many of you have used all the saved workouts on my YouTube channel, but please try and do 2 to 3 feel-good workouts a week. That would be really, really great. And you can also add in lots of exercise snacking through your day, because that is so effective at breaking up long periods of sitting. So here I'm lifting the leg and I'm circling out. If your leg gets tired, you could place it on the floor as an easier option and just circle out your foot, your ankle. That's brilliant. So we're going to do something slightly different today, just to warm up the back. Well, this is actually a great exercise I learned when I used to have chronic back pain in my 20s. I want you to find a wall, ideally, if you're able to stand, but I will show you this seated, so don't worry if you can't stand. If you're able to stand, you're going to go against your wall or maybe your cupboards, somewhere that's nice and flat, and I want you to press your body against the wall. If you're seated, you could do the same exercise against the back of your chair, but it's lovely to have a full support if you're able to stand. So I'll show you it standing, but you can do this seated. We're going to put our hands up in this lovely right angle position, yeah? So my palms are forward and I'm pressing my back against the wall, keeping the body and back as close to the wall as possible. I'm going to try and extend my arms up into a Y shape. Now it's quite difficult to keep everything against the wall. I'm then going to bring it back down into a little W shape. So you could do this seated, lifting the arms up and down. And then we're going to try and go straight up, all the way up, like a long I, like the letter I. Lovely, reaching up. This is a good stretch for the body. If you're against the wall, I want you to practice maybe these W's and the Y's, just doing a few of those. So coming down into that W position. How close are your arms and your body to the wall? It takes quite a bit of practice, so you can breathe through this. If you're seated, sit back straight against the chair if you can, or just nice and upright, lifting up and squeezing down. As you squeeze down, if you're seated especially, you'll feel the muscles here in your lats working. So shall we do 2 more of these, seated or standing? This is quite a good exercise for your back, for your posture, to engage the muscles before the workout, and down. So they're called wall angels. Do you like them? Let me know. This is something new that I thought I'd throw in because I've been practicing them myself at home over the festive period. We are now going to grab a band, a belt. So if you've got a resistance band or a belt or a pair of old tights, anything with a bit of stretch, even a scarf will do, but ideally something with stretch is brilliant. And we're going to start with Lavina's famous feel-good shoulder floss, which you could do seated or standing, depending on how your rotation is of your shoulders. I want you to try and come up and over. Now, I do that with very straight arms because I've been shoulder flossing daily, I would say, for the last few years. This is why this exercise is one of my signature moves. It's very common not to be able to go symmetrically with both arms. So you can bend the arms. You can maybe just go over as far as you can today. It might not even be as far as all the way up and round. If you're holding a band, you can challenge yourself by holding it nice and tight, or you can start off nice and loose. So this is your resistance exercises that we're starting. This is like the strength snack that we're starting here, but we're using a band. So I call them band snacks, like my exercise snacks. These are brilliant exercises, especially this one. You're breathing through. Inhale, exhale. We're going to do a few more, but when you start feeling that burning sensation, which is perfectly normal in the muscles, it's the lactic acid that is building up in the muscles. But you could do this on the sofa at night when you're watching TV. You could do this on your desk if you're working from home. Show your loved ones this one exercise, because your shoulders, your posture, your upper back, your arm muscles are all working. They will really benefit. Did you feel that? Was there a little bit of a burning sensation there? Let me know. I'm just going to change my view on Zoom so that I can see everyone on the gallery there. Oh, we've got loads of you joining today. So I hope you felt that. We're now going to go, like the wall angels, we're going to target these lat muscles, which hopefully you'll see. So seated or standing, I want you to bring both arms up, nice and straight. Hold the band a bit loose. Now keep one arm nice and straight and the other elbow is coming down and round. I'm squeezing and releasing. The other arm is nice and straight by your ears. Then we're going to change sides, down and up. Now, when you do this, I want you to think about these muscles here. This is your latimus dorsi, your lats, and it's a key part of your back that we're trying to really strengthen. You should feel a nice little release here as well. So when we're sitting and we get back pain, neck pain, these are brilliant exercises. Just this 5-minute part of the workout, you could just forward on YouTube where it's saved for you and just do during your day. If you like, you could even do 5 on each side and then move to the other side. And if you feel it's a bit easy, hold your band or tights a little bit tighter so that you can feel it. I've got the amazing Taruna auntie on Zoom who I can see is now able to lift both arms up. She had a shoulder fracture, so she has done incredible. She was doing things one-armed on my workouts for most of the end of last year, and I can now see she has progressed. I'm so super proud of you, Taruna auntie. Just do what you can and release. Well done to everyone. I've got such inspiring people joining me every week. So a little shout out for you there. We're now going to do some lovely openers. If you don't like using the band or if you don't have one, you can just stretch the body opposite directions, opening out. Otherwise, with the band or a pair of tights, we're opening out. We're exhaling. Inhale, lifting your arms up in front of you in that rest position is like a frontal raise. You're then working the shoulders to keep the arms up. But if they get tired, obviously drop them down. We want lovely posture, opening out, back to the middle, breathing, exhale, inhale. So our breath is so important during the exercises. That's why that breath snack at the beginning, which you can use any time, but now we're tying it into our exercises, and breathing is so important through it. I feel like it's meditative exercise when you're breathing correctly. You're really treating your physical health, but also your mental health, alleviating any stress by really breathing correctly and deeply. Can you all feel it? I can see some of you on Zoom. Give a little shake out. We are now going to maybe tie the band around your thighs if you can, or you could just sit down and we can try and do it without. So whatever your preference, I'm going to tie it just above my knees, and we're going to do a little bit of movement with our our abductors and adductors. So it's the outer and inner thighs and our glute muscles, our bottom muscles. We're going to use that band because it gives us a bit of resistance as we step out and in. Now I want you to focus on just the movement. So again, your hips are working here. That ball and socket joint is, you're having to move to the side. So it's different planes of movement. We're really trying to open out the hips here, but we're also going to start using your glute muscles if you really focus. So I'm doing single leg to start, stepping out and in. You could do it without the band, but try and keep everything nice and still. Brilliant. So I'm really hopefully focusing. It's a very small movement, but if you do this for maybe about a minute, you should start feeling it. A second option is to have that tight band or tights, or if you don't, you're going to imagine you have one, and we're going to move the knees out and in. So we're squeezing in and out. So I want you to focus on your thigh muscles. I hope you can all see me there. So I'm doing it seated because standing is going to be very difficult to squeeze out and in. It's actually probably better seated for the double in and out squeezes so that you're working those thighs, and you should start feeling it on the outer thigh and inner thigh. How does this feel? So stomach muscles in, back nice and straight, squeezing out and in. Well done. Can we go for a few more? Because this is quite one of those exercises that builds up over time. You should start feeling it. If your band is loose, maybe tighten it up. Tights are great for this. Can you feel this? Mum, how are you getting on? My mum Kumach's on. Can you feel it, Mum? Thumbs up, everyone, if you can feel it. YouTube, let me know as well in the comments. Whenever you do this workout, I want to hear your feedback. This is quite a tricky one, so maybe one to practice and relax. Well done. So we're going to get rid of our bands now, and we are going to move into our strength section. So while I'm talking and explaining lots of the benefits of exercises, I always try and do and teach you proper form. The active recovery, so that means whenever I'm talking, you could be adding in your steps. We could get these steps in from the comfort of our homes or wherever you are, behind your desks. And I could add in a bit of boxing, which you know I love. And it's a great way to punch out any of your worries and really boost our moods. So you could go fast, you could go slow. We might as well do a few more seconds of boxing while we're here for about 10 more seconds and just get everything nice and warm. And then we're going to move into our strength section. And you know how important strength training is. So today's workout, I'm going to focus on some of the biggest, most important strength exercise. So we can use our body weight to start, or we could add in weights. And you can see I've got a selection of household safe objects. You don't have to have fancy gym equipment, though I know a lot of you have probably bought dumbbells off Amazon now, which is great. But whatever you have, tins, plastic bottles, we can use those. And I want you to think about increasing the weight gradually over time to build our muscle mass. So we're going to start with the first exercise. You can relax from the boxing. Well done, everyone. You probably did a good minute there. Do you feel a little bit warmer? So we're adding in these little hit snacks in between the exercises if you want. We're starting with our legs. So we're going to go back to basics. Just a simple leg extension, lifting one leg off the ground. I want you to focus on the lift and these muscles here, your quadriceps, that are having to lift your leg, maybe holding for a few seconds. I want everyone to practice this because this on its own is a fabulous exercise to do in restaurants, maybe after a meal, to help mop up all the excess blood sugar, the glucose that's going in after your food, that's circulating in your bloodstreams, and it can help just reduce those blood sugar peaks that can be quite detrimental in the long run. So exercise is a great way to reduce our risks of pre and type 2 diabetes as well, and improve our insulin sensitivity. So I'm just talking about movements here that you could do anytime. That's level 1. We are then, if you're able to, progress to level 2, where you've got the support of your chair, and we can start by just standing a few inches up and down. And I want you to focus on your form. Even if you've been doing my workouts for a long time, your feet are just over shoulder width. Your knees always go out. They never come in. They're going in the same direction as your toes. And I want your knees to stay back. So as you come up, I want you to check. You can see your toes and coming down. We're just starting to activate the muscles. And then we're going to go, if you're able to, so if you can't, you do level 1 or level 2. Level 3 is a full stand from the sitting position, but I want you to squeeze all the muscles, body nice and upright, shoulders back, and then I want you to slowly come down to the seated position. So we're going nice and slow. We're just doing body weight this first set because some of you have maybe had a little bit of a break over Christmas. This is our first New Year's session, squeezing up and down. Now tie the breath in. So we're breathing out as we stand and we're inhaling as we come down. I'm going to show you from the side because I want you to make sure that your knees are not under too much pressure. So can you see they're behind my toes here? And I'm squeezing the glutes as I come up and then slowly coming down. The knees stay out in line with my toes. Shall we do 3 more? Then I think we're on 10. I normally have mummy here to count for me, but please count out loud. Just by counting, you're activating the neurons in your brain. I'm making you do 2 things at once, and that's great to reduce our risks of things like dementia and Alzheimer's. You know that exercise is one of the best ways to reduce our risks of these very common chronic illnesses that start in midlife. So especially as you age, these symptoms come out, but we can do so much with movement if we start moving from our 30s or earlier, ideally. So we've done about 10 body weight squats, or maybe you've done lots of leg extensions. This is your break, or you can box out. And if you want to add something to your boxing, tin cans are perfect little weights, yeah? So you can keep your little tin cans ready at your sofa or your desk and just add in a bit of boxing. Have you all got tin cans? Has my mum got some ready there? There we go. We're going to go for about 5 more seconds, giving our legs a break. Well done. Some of you have picked up light 1 kg dumbbells as well for a little challenge. Well done. Keeping our muscles working in between. We are now moving from lower body to upper body. So we're going into our press-ups, and I always demonstrate press-ups against the wall. That's where I started. I don't do floor press-ups in this workout because this workout is for everyone, and I want it to be accessible for you to do at the coffee machine. When you're making your tea, get your 10 press-ups in. So if you're able to go by the wall, I will demonstrate. So we have a nice wall here. If you're not able to stand, I'll also show you a seated version. But I know a lot of you have been doing wall press-ups. So my hands are at shoulder height. They're nice and wide, and I'm going to come with a straight line towards the wall, bending at the elbows, and then pushing my body weight back. I'm going to show you one from the side. Form is really important, so try not to bend at your hips. Keep the whole body nice and straight. Inhaling, exhaling as you push away. To make it harder, you can go further back. To make it easier, you stay close to the wall. Can you give me up to 10, whatever your body allows? I'm going to show you a seated version, which is literally pressing against your thighs, bending those elbows, chest comes down and through, and then I'm pushing the upper torso away. So I'm still focusing on using all of my upper body muscles. This is a compound exercise where it's multi-muscle, multi-joint. We want to build strength up in our upper body. When you have finished, you can rest, you can roll out the wrists, or you could get back into some boxing, whatever your level, but this is your rest time. Now, press-ups are fabulous, and if you have been doing them for a long time, when you can, I want you to progress to your kitchen worktop. So that is like the perfect level for progression. You know, when you're cooking or chopping and something is boiling away, or maybe you're making your tea, can you commit to 10 press-ups? Even if it's once a day, that's going to be the homework from today's workout. If that's a yes, I want you to give me a thumbs up now. And you can drop me a comment when you do this workout again, maybe in between, or I'm going to check in with you guys next week about whether we can do our press-ups. We are going to repeat this whole circuit again. So the first time I'm going quite slow because this is a little bit of a back to 2024 New Year workout. So we're going to start now with some hip circles again. So I'm adding in balance into this big circuit. We did them at the beginning. You can do them standing or you can do them seated. We're going to do 10 circles, so 5 in each direction on each leg. So if you're seated, you're doing 5 one way, then you're changing directions on that leg. If you're standing, you are doing balance work potentially, but always have support. And when you're ready, I want you to change sides. If you're standing and balancing, this leg that's on the ground is taking all of your body weight. And it's so brilliant to help with any muscular imbalances. So not only are we reducing our risks of falls as we age with this little balance snack here, but we're also correcting any differences in the leg, which are so common, especially if you've got runners that are watching or are in your house. Tell them how important balance work is. So we've done the little hip circles. We are now moving into another upper body exercise. Now we've got 2 options here. We're going to work these muscles here, our lovely triceps, yeah? And the first bit of this I want you to focus on is we're going to be doing dips. I have shown these before, but I'm going to show you again. They're quite an advanced exercise, but otherwise I want you to hold a plastic bottle or a dumbbell or something at the top, but carefully bring it up behind your head. So can you see it's just behind my head? My elbows are going to stay, they're normally like this, but I want you to bring them in towards your ears. I'm going to show you from the side. We're often like this. I want you to try and straighten up and bring those elbows back and in. And then I want you to carefully lift your tin, which is the best weight to start with. Something nice and light. Straightening the arms, breathing out, and then bringing that weight back to that starting position. I'm showing you from the back. I'm straightening. I'm keeping everything still. My stomach muscles are in. I can do this seated or standing. Squeezing up. Let's all do these because these are hopefully activating your triceps. If your elbows are out, try and move them in. And then lift the weight. It's quite difficult. Up to 10, but whatever you can do. Let's try for 4. See what you can do. And 3. Now, can you focus on these muscles, the mind to muscle connection? It's those bingo wings area that we're really focusing on, but it's not about how we look. It's about how this helps us lift weights and really stay independent as we age. 1 more if you can. Carefully bring it down. Release everything out. That is level 1. It's quite tough. You could box while I'm showing you another option for your triceps, which are the dips, and they're quite advanced. So I don't want everyone to start off with this, but my hands, my fingers are facing away from the chair. So I'm resting my palms on the chair, and this is an advanced exercise. So I don't want everyone to try this, but if you're able to, I'm then going to move my body weight off the chair. I've got bent legs, and I'm just sinking down and pushing up. I'm carrying my whole body weight. It might just be one that we try today. Otherwise, you can progress. Elbows are staying back and in. I'm going to show you from the front that, again, they're not out. They're staying nicely tucked in and back. So I come down, breathe out. I'm straightening, pushing my weight up. I can see a few of you are trying these on Zoom. Maybe you just try one. This is your whole body weight. The best way for strength is to be able to carry your own body weight. Yep. We've got our incredible bodies, and over time, you might be able to try these dips. Can you see how I keep my body nice and upright? Inhale, exhale. We're doing them with bent legs. There's obviously progression where your legs are straighter, but it's a difficult move. Have you tried dips today? Give me a thumbs up so I know roughly if we've got a few of you. Well done to my mum, to Andrew. We've got, who else is giving me a thumbs up? Lal and Ayush, Auntie, you guys are a fabulous couple. Rasikanka Hans Auntie. We've got Bipin, we've got Purnima Auntie. A lot of you have tried, and if you haven't, it's a really hard exercise. So just these extensions is great. We're now going to give that muscle a little rest, and we're going to move into some bicep curls and a shoulder press. So let's do it without any weight, and then we can do it seated or standing. So elbows are tucked in, shoulders are back, palms are forward. So imagine you're holding your tins, which we will add in a minute. We're curling them towards the shoulders. We then twist, palms away as I press up, and then palms come back towards my shoulders, and I slowly release. So on this part of the exercise, I'm working these muscles. Then I twist, I press up, shoulder press. Then I come back down, and then I release that muscle. So we're contracting and we're releasing. If it's hard to do both, please just do bicep curls with your elbows tucked in, or just do your shoulder press. So shall we give that a go? Seated or standing, you could use some tin cans. I've picked up my dumbbells. You could use some plastic water bottles, whatever works for you. But we're going to just try and do 10 if we can. So I'm seated here. I'm curling, but you could do it standing. I am then pressing up, palms face away from me. Then palms come towards me and down. So you've got the movement, I think, everyone, but you can just split it up, like I said. Bicep curls or shoulder press, whatever works for you. And I want you to breathe, and I want you to hold your stomach muscles in, keeping your backs nice and still, really focusing on these big movements for our muscles. We want to build lean muscle mass, which is, again, so important to reduce risks of things like osteoporosis, to help with our insulin sensitivity, to help with independence and strength as we age. There's lots of studies around the importance of muscle mass for our longevity. And I feel this is more important than the cardio exercises, because the more muscle mass you have, if you're trying to lose weight, muscle is so metabolically active that it's more effective at burning calories. So we want to increase our muscle mass. Yep, and we do want to maintain a healthy weight to reduce risks of chronic illnesses. I am talking and I can see you're all working hard. I think we've got 2 more. Curl and press. I'm going nice and slow. My weights are a little bit light for me, but I'm going really nice and slow. So just that tempo and that focus of the muscles is so important, doing proper form, and then we can build up. You can play this workout again this week, maybe in a day or 2, and maybe you just up the weight very slightly. That's progression. Or maybe you add in an extra repetition. That's progression. Or maybe you go slower. That is also strength progression. I think we've done 10. Have we done about 10, everyone? Give me a nod or a thumbs up. And let's shake out the arms. If you want to again, you can box it out here. Releasing out. I can feel, do you feel those muscles are working now? It's such a great feeling. You should be feeling strong and the endorphins are being released. Those feel good, happy hormones after exercise. Brilliant work. So, next exercise is for our core. And we could do seated. So we'll all try this. It is a little bit of a difficult one seated. So I want you to practice this. I'm going to show you from the side. We're going to keep the backs nice and straight, and all I'm going to do is try and lean back, but I'm keeping my stomach muscles, my belly button in towards my spine, and I'm leaning back. I could hold here, but tightening everything. Even my pelvic floor is squeezing, and then I release. Can you feel that? It's quite a difficult exercise, but if you get that core engagement, it's tightening and squeezing. That is a seated option. For anyone that can stand, you can see I've got this chair ready here, but I want you to have something that is not going to move, like your sofa or even your bed, and we're going to try a plank. But we're not doing planks on the floor. For this workout, we're doing a chair plank or something slightly elevated. This is another advanced exercise, but try it for a few seconds. It's your body weight. So what I've got here is my hands directly under my shoulders. I step the feet away. Watch me first. I've got a straight line from my head down to my heels. I'm not like sticking my bum in the air, or I'm not arching my back. So I want to protect your spine. This is my body weight. I'm sucking my core in like a rope is pulling up my belly button, and I'm breathing tight. I'm trying to engage all my muscles. Even my arms are working. My back is lovely and engaged. My glutes, my legs, my stomach, holding for a few seconds, and then you come up. If you want to try a plank, please try. Now, I know my mum can do a plank on the floor. Kumud, Shah. So if you want to try one on the floor, please, by all means, do them on the floor. I will show one. I don't often show things on the floor, but I will show you the high plank on the floor for those that can maybe do with a little bit of a challenge. So here, again, I have got my hands directly under my shoulders. I start on an all fours position. My hands are really tight directly under my shoulders, and then I lift the knees off the ground, and I've got a straight line from my head to my heels. I'm not here, I'm not arching, I am nice and straight, really holding my core in, breathing. You can hold for just 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and build up. So if you're not able to do the planks, well done. I can see lots of you trying on Zoom. YouTube, I hope you're doing well. If you're not able to do the plank, can you feel that core working as you lean back? Can you hold for a few seconds? Could you maybe lift a leg here? But I want you to keep that core engaged and come up. But keep your neck, my mum. Don't lean your neck back. I just saw my mum trying it. I want you to imagine you've got an orange between your chin and chest, so your head is neutral to your spine. You're not putting any pressure on your neck, and you're coming down and up. It's a difficult one, that one, I'll admit. So let's give that a punch out. Who tried the plank? Can everyone let me know who tried the plank here? Let me have a little look. Can you give me a thumbs up if you tried the plank, just so I know? Yes, well done. Good, good work. So just so we know, we've got so many ages, so many abilities. Doesn't matter if you didn't try. I'm just giving you lots of options for people that can progress. And I can see lots of weights there. I think Bipin Uncle has got a whole bag of potatoes. I will talk to you at the end. He's got such inventive weights. Well done. So let's relax there. We're going to do one last exercise, adding in a bit of HIIT. We're going to do some high knees. So seated or standing, I want your back straight, your hands in front of your belly button, and I want you to give yourself a high five as you bring that knee up and down. If you're standing, you know you're balancing here, but I want you to focus also on these deep stomach muscles and the lower part of your abs. So those are those hard to reach ones. I'm going nice and slow, and I'm really lifting the knee. You could add in the arms now. If that knee is coming up, we could do some rope pulls, just to add in a bit of coordination to keep our brains fit as well. You could do this seated or standing. You could pick up the pace if you've got it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Give yourselves a little clap. So now, looking at time, we're going to try and whisk through everything really quickly. So we're going to start with our squats. This time, all your leg extensions, if you want to hold a weight, you can. Seated leg extensions or your squats. Let's go for 10. I'm going to go through this quickly, but you can have as many breaks as you want. So let's start by standing up nice and tall, squeezing up, coming down. Good. Breathing out. Sit and stands. Literally add these in whenever you're sitting for too long. You could just add in 10 of these and really strengthen your lower body. Building lean muscle mass. Future-proofing our body. Squeezing up. Breathe out. Breathe in. So even for menopause especially, I'm going through perimenopause and I'm losing muscle mass. It's just sarcopenia. After the age of 30, we start losing our muscle mass. And the rates during menopause are accelerated. So important to be doing strength training for all ages. 2, and I think we've got one last one. Standing or lifting your leg extensions, whatever you can do, and down. Now, can you feel your heart rate has gone up a bit with the weight? We're now going into our press-ups. So either seated or you can move to your wall and we are pressing, or even your kitchen counter. Mum, if you can get up. My mum, I'm going to push her a little bit. Even if you do 5 standing and 5 seated, let's try and get in our wall press-ups if you're able to stand. Pushing away in your own time, maybe aiming for 10. That is hypertrophy, so that's a good rep range to build muscle and to burn fat. That's why I stick to 10 reps. 8 to 12 reps is a great hypertrophy range. Inhale, exhale. When you've done your 10, maybe you're standing, maybe you're seated. Just circle out the wrists. Obviously, add in a bit of boxing if you want. We're going to move straight into our hip circles. So if you're standing, we're adding in our balance work. We're going to circle out 5 in each direction. Seated, you're keeping everything nice and still, lifting the leg. You can circle big or small, then change directions. Can you really feel it? Focus. My heart rate is up here because we're moving quite quickly through the second circuit. And then changing legs. If you're balancing, always have some support. But we're going to try and circle out. And if your leg gets tired, obviously place it down. I'm hovering here. So this one leg is taking all the weight. And then change directions. We start losing our balance in our 30s and 40s. So this again is really key to do from a young age. If you've got children, grandchildren, start teaching them the benefits as well, and you will inspire them. Those that are in their 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s joining me, you are incredible people. So we are now going to move into our tricep extensions, so maybe the weight. So these are our triceps, elbows in and back, or if you want, you could try the dips off the chair. So maybe you could do 2 or 3 dips and then join us with this extension. We're extending up, elbows are staying close to my head. Can you see me? They're not here, they're here. And then back is nice and straight, lifting up. Exhale, inhale. Maybe going for about 10. You can do this very comfortably seated, and you could increase the weight over time. Can you try and keep your elbows in and back? That's it. Lifting, releasing. We'll go for 3 and 2. Breathe out. Breathe in. You guys are so strong. You're looking fabulous. And 1 and relax. Well done, everybody. Straight in to our curl and shoulder press. So seated or standing. You could grab your tins or your plastic bottles or dumbbells. Let's go for a curl and a shoulder press. And then back in and release it down. Good. Do what you can. Even if it's just the bicep curl, that's fine. Just do any exercise you can for a progression. If you want to try this in the evenings when you're watching TV, you could lift the heels up as you're seated and bring them down. So again, you're adding in your heel raises. Those little calf muscles will start working as well. But that's just another little thing you can throw in as a little exercise snack into your day. Can you do 2 more for me, guys? I'm going to take a little clip of my amazing team on Zoom here. Can you give me 2 more? Curling and pressing. Good work, everyone. Beautiful smiles. Keep going, YouTube. Last one for me. And relax. You are doing so well. We're nearly there. So we're going for a plank. Maybe 10 seconds even. Elevated. I did show the floor. Nice straight line. Holding your body weight. Or you could do those chair lean backs. But if you're able to do the plank, even just 5 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever you can do. Here I'm leaning back and I'm engaging the core and then bringing myself up to seated. Leaning back, squeezing everything in, holding for as long as possible and coming in. You can do a few more of those. I saw some of you get up to do a plank. Well done. And our finale, we're going to add in those high knees. Let's go for about 20 seconds to that finish line before we have our lovely stretch. So we have covered so much today. Mobility work. We did our breath snack at the beginning, then the mobility snack. Then we did a little bit of a band snack, so resistance bands. And then we've used strength training mixed in with little active recovery with the HIIT, the boxing, in between some of the key strength exercises that I would love you to keep practicing and progressing. We're going for 3, 2, and 1. Give yourselves a clap. That was a big circuit. How did you find that last circuit? Quite a challenge. Maybe a great one to remember this session and come back to it. We have to stretch. This is the key part of the fitness prescription, the feel-good fitness prescription, to reduce your risks of injuries, to bring the heart rate down. Mine's quite high. How is yours at the moment? So I'm going to lift, just lengthen one leg in front of me. I'm going to flex the toes towards me. My body's going to be nice and upright. And I'm going to take a long positive inhale as I stretch the arms up. Breathe in and then breathe out. I am trying to maybe touch my toes, but do not worry if you can't. Rest your hands on that straight leg or above your knee and just release it out. Let's breathe here. Wow, I've got a high heart rate, guys. That was a lot we covered there. So I want you to lengthen out the muscles. This is going to reduce any soreness as well if you haven't exercised in a while, and slowly roll it up. Ideally, you could hold these stretches each for 20 to 30 seconds. So if you like any of these, I treat my body to a stretch every night before bed, just to improve my flexibility, to lengthen out the muscles. And it's also a nice self-care snack where I'm breathing and I'm just giving my mind a rest as I tune into the breath. Because stretching can be hard. So if you can feel tension, just over time, practice makes perfect. So just keep stretching and you will feel an improvement. I guarantee it. I used to be very inflexible when I started my fitness journey in my late 30s. And now I love stretching because it's become part of day-to-day life. So I have got a foot on my knee, so lifting up if you're able to. If you can't, you could just hug one knee in and sit nice and tall. But this is a nice one if you're able to open out your hips and glutes, which we've worked a lot. And I've got this toe that's resting, flexed position, and I could move forward, but already just by pushing this knee out slightly, I can feel my glutes and hip muscles just getting a lovely stretch. So this could be enough, just encouraging your knee to be a little bit further down, or you could bring your chest towards your shin. Breathe wherever you are, deep breaths. And release. The stretch is like your little bit of gratitude, your self-care, thanking your amazing body and letting it have a release after all the hard work it's done. Smile. Let's try the other side. Maybe one side feels easier than the other, which is quite common. Holding, breathing. You want to try and really hold these static stretches at the end. There's a lot of science behind stretching. It's also great to help with muscle mass as well. I found a study recently how important it is for strength training. So keep stretching is the goal. We're then going to bring our hands, you can stay seated, into the middle of your back, bringing your elbows back. So we're really opening out the chest here, standing nice and tall. Palms in the middle of your back. Can you feel that? Standing nice and proud or seated. And then we're going to do the opposing one where we're going to round our backs like we're hugging a tree, interlock the fingers in front, round out your back like a C shape to really get your chin towards your chest. And then bring those interlocked arms nice and straight above your head. If you're seated, that's fine. A nice full lengthen of the spine. Release it down. I'm going to show you the tricep stretch because if you did dips for the first time in a while, you may remember Lavina, and I want you to practice this stretch. This is a brilliant stretch because everyone is like this with screens, technology, sitting too long. So we're trying to bring this elbow back and we're just using the other hand to bring it back and straight. You should feel a lovely stretch here all the way down. Hold and breathe. Be proud of yourselves. I am super proud of you all. Other side. Lovely lengthen. You have all these workouts saved on my YouTube channel. Please press subscribe so that you get notified of lots of new content that I'm putting up. And please share them with your loved ones, and do drop me a comment every time you use them. It means the world. We're going to do our feel good hug, signature move, opening out, breathing in positivity. And give yourselves a big hug round the back like a seated or standing cat-cow. But give yourselves a hug. You so deserve it. It's from me to all of you. I wish I could come and hug you all, but we're doing virtual hugs here. And then we've got our signature feel-good finish of all my workouts. You can stay seated. I'll show you standing. I'm going to take a lovely positive inhale, bringing the arms up and then bring them down. Big exhale, releasing any tension, stress, anxiety. Hopefully it's all gone through the power of movement. One big positive inhale, hands meet at the top, then bring that positivity down to your heart center. Take a moment, close your eyes. Say something positive to yourself, yeah? Just say, you are amazing for everything you've managed to just do. And I thank my body. And I'm wishing you good health and happiness in 2024. This was our first workout of the year. Give yourselves a clap. Please share it. Please join me live every Friday at 10 o'clock. My mother-in-law will be joining me as well. And as you know, I'm on all social media, Instagram, where you'll see all the things I'm up to day to day. But you have loads of free workouts and exercise snacks on YouTube. I will be talking to my Zoom participants. If you'd like to join on Zoom, sign up to my newsletter, and I will give you the information if you want to join my WhatsApp group as well. Lots and lots of love to everybody. I am going to say goodbye to YouTube first, and then hello to everybody on Zoom. We did a slight